Hello students, this is Mr. Sims, and here we have our Day 2 lesson video. In our student books we are on page number 6. Right? So in today's lesson we're going to talk about proportional relationships. Okay? Lesson objective for today's lesson: I can identify a proportional relationship. Right? Okay, so a proportional relationship, and in Fast and Furious class, we've talked about what a proportional and what it means to be proportional. So we're going to take a look at this. So opening example here is we're going to pay by the ounce frozen yogurt. Okay, reading for the gist. We'll talk about this a few times. We're going to go right to the end. Determine if the cost is proportional to the weight. Okay, so proportional relationship will have the same unit rate. And that's how you determine if a relationship is proportional, if they have the same unit rate. All right, moving back down here a little bit. So, in our opening example, and we've lost some focus. Apologize for that. All right. A new self-serve frozen yogurt store opened this summer sells its yogurt at a price based upon the total weight of the yogurt and its toppings in a dish. Each member of Isabel's family weighed their dish, and this is what they found. So in this particular problem, what we've got is we've got a table. And on the top, we've got the weight in ounces and then the cost. Okay? Keep in mind that we're going to use unit rates to determine this. So when we do unit rates, and here's the one thing we'll have to understand. Okay? Money will go on top always. So it may look like it's this way, and this is where we're gonna have to be careful. In a this is a horizontal table. Your first gut is going to be, I'm going to take 12.5 divided by 5. Okay, but we don't want to do that. Money always goes on top. So we're going to do 5 divided by 12.5. Okay, but then we're also going to check to make sure that they're all the same. So we've also got to do 4 divided by 10, and 2 divided by 5, and 320 divided by 8. Notice that we're doing this backwards. And in one of the future lessons, we're going to talk about how the first column is going to be X, and our second column is going to be Y. Right? So we're going to check each one of these to see if they are the same. Now, some of you might be able to identify that, 4 over 10 is the same as 2 over 5. Think of it as a reduced fraction. 4/10 is the same as 2/5. Right? But for some of you, it might not pop up that way, so here's how we do this. We just check, and we'll use a calculator because we're going to use a calculator to save us some time. So here I get 0.4, which would be 40 cents per ounce. So here, and we're going to check them all. 4 divided by 10. Oh, look, same thing. 40 cents per ounce. Okay. 2 divided by 5 is also 0.4, or 40 cents per ounce. And then 3.2 divided by 8 is also. So because each one of these unit rates is the same, we can say the cost is proportional to the weight. Okay? Because they have the same unit rate. And there's other ways to prove that a relationship is proportional that doesn't involve the unit rate, but this works for all of them, and I'm a big fan of if it works for all of them, then we're good to go. Okay, so now what that basically means is now that I know it's a proportion, I can use a proportion to solve problems. At this rate, how much would 15 ounces cost? Right? So, cost per ounce. So I know that it is 40 cents for 1 ounce. Okay? 15 ounces would go on the bottom. I put an X on the top. Okay? And I can do this butterfly method that you guys might remember, where you can cross multiply and divide. So if you remember how to do this. So how this works is you take 40 cents. So x will equal the 0.40 times 15. I'm using the parentheses to represent division, or I'm sorry, multiplication. I misspoke. Right? And you're going to divide it by 1. So on your calculator, here's how this would work. You would take 0.40 times 15 divided by 1, and we get 6. Right? Now this is not the only way that you could do this, but this does work, this proportion method. Right? So it would be $6 is how much, and that 6 would go on top, so it represents dollars. This is very, very important to do this, because the only way you're going to mess a proportion up is if you put the numbers in the wrong spots. All right. Okay, moving on. Exercise 1 is going to be a quick check that you'll do after the video is over with. So I'm going to skip this page. We are now on page 8. And we're going to talk about the summer job really briefly. Okay. Reading for the gist. If I continue to work and earn money at this rate, will I have enough money to buy the gaming system by the end of the summer? Right. So going back to the top and rereading, Alex spent the summer helping out at his family's business. He was hoping to earn enough money to buy a new gaming system for $220. Halfway through the summer, after working for 4 weeks, he earned $112. Okay. He wonders, if I continue to work and earn money at this rate, will I have enough money to buy the gaming system? So what we've done here is to determine if he'll earn enough money, he made a table. All right. So how this works in a table is that he entered his total money earned at the end of week 1 and his total money earned at the end of week 4. So what you're actually going to do is you're going to work with somebody on this. So some things to know. Week 0, if he doesn't work, he doesn't make any money. Okay. Week 1, right? Earnings. So we want to take a look at this as dollars per week. Right? So this 28 with 1 means that he made $28 for 1 week. This is your unit rate. Okay? So what you're going to do is you're going to use this table, this unit rate, to fill in the table to figure out, after 2 weeks, 3 weeks, 4 weeks, 5 weeks, 6 weeks, 7 weeks, and 8 weeks, and you're going to work with somebody to answer his question. Will he have enough money? Okay, and then, are his earnings proportional? Do they have the same unit rate? Okay, once you're done with this exercise, you're going to check in with us to make sure. Then you're going to come back and you're going to do this exercise here and then check in, and then you'll go through the independent practice. All right, so for recorded lessons, day 2 of module 1, this is Mr. Sims signing off.